Hello and Assalamualaikum. We are from RX12433C. So we got a task for subject ELC590, which is English for oral presentation. So today we are going to represent about a task for week 2, which is in group. So I would like to introduce my group mate. The first one is Muhammad HAZIQ IZUDDIN bin ADZHAR. The second one is myself, Muhammad HEIQAL DANIAL bin Muhammad AZZUANSHAH. The third one is Muhammad HIQMAL HAKIMI bin Majun, and the last one is QISTINA binti Muhammad REFFAL. So let's go to our presentation. Let's start our presentation.
What is public speaking? It's a presentation that's given live before an audience. Public speeches can cover a wide variety of different topics. The goal of the speech may be to educate, entertain, or influence the listeners. Often, visual aids in the form of an electronic slideshow are used to supplement the speech. This makes it more interesting to the listeners. A public speaking presentation is different from an online presentation. The online presentation is available anytime. A public speech is typically limited to a specific time or place. Online presentations often use slideshows or they use pre-recorded videos of a speaker. Public speaking is communication of ideas using words and action to let others know what is happening in your head. So that's why public speaking is important, because good public speaking skills can have a huge impact on your career, such as it can demonstrate your confidence, your knowledge, your better research skill, and it can also help you lead better. What is do's and don'ts of public speaking? Let's start with do's first. First, introduce yourself. At the very start of your presentation, make sure you introduce yourself confidently to your audience. This will attract the audience to focus to the speaker. Second, know your audience. Understand about why your topic is important to them and what they expect to learn from the presentation. This, you should find out the level of knowledge the audience has on the topic, so you'll be better prepared to plan your speech, planning properly. Third, planning your speech. Spend some time thinking about the structure of the entire talk. The more preparation work you put in, the more likely you are to succeed. You must practice, and practice, because practice makes you perfect while giving a speech. Fourth, eye contact. Maintain your eye contact with the audience to keep their interest. Keep your posture open and spread out. Fifth, start and finish on time. Speaking over you allowed time is disrespectful and will annoy at some people in your audience. Last, use props. Use props, handouts, and videos to make your presentation more exciting. Next, for don'ts, the first one, don't hurry. When you talk quickly, it is more likely that people in your audience will miss what you say and so become lost. This will make your audience lose interest with your speech. Second, don't read your slides. The audience will quickly become bored and you give the impression that you don't know what you are talking about, and it makes you look unprepared and unprofessional. Third, don't say rather than saying within a sentence. Practice pausing and thinking in your head instead. The last one, don't use too many fonts. Keep it simple by using only one of 2 fonts per text. The information will be easier for audience to read. What are the types of public speaking? They have 4 types. The first one is informative speaking. With an informative speech, the speaker simply tries to explain the concept to the audience members. College lecture courses involve speaking formations such as industry conferences and public officials sharing important information. In this type of speech, information is the important thing. The speaker is not trying to get others to agree with him or show them how to do something for themselves. Instead, he disseminated important information. Second one, ceremonial speaking. These speeches mark special occasions. A large number of people will give some sort of ceremonial speech for the rest of their lives. They are common at graduations, weddings, and funerals, as well as large birthday celebrations and office holiday parties. Ceremonial speeches usually involve toasts and are personal in nature with an intimate emotional connection with the person hearing them. The third one, persuasive speaking. Persuasive speaking tends to be the most lazy. Politicians, lawyers, and clergy members use persuasive speaking. This type of speaking requires practicing voice inflection and nuances of language that will convince the audience members of a certain viewpoint. The persuasive speaker has a stake in the outcome of the speech. The persuasive speaker uses emotional appeals and strong language in the speeches. The last one, demonstrative speaking. Types of demonstrative speaking is like science demonstration and role playing. This type of public speaking requires being able to speak clearly and concisely to describe action and to perform those actions while speaking. The idea behind demonstrative speaking is that the audience member live with the knowledge about how to do something.
Hi, my name is HAKIMI. Wait a minute, how exciting is that? Do you think that is exciting? No, you're gonna start with bang. That's what we call attention getter. So, what is attention getter? Attention getter is used at the beginning of the speech to capture an audience interest. So that is a tool for speaker to delivering their speech, and it also can be a good reason to audience to listen to the rest of the speech, and it also help the audience to understand and reflect on your topic. After that, as you know what is attention getter is, and this is 5 type of attention getter, which is the first one is anecdote, the story that relates to your speech in some ways. And second is question. You can use question to engage your audience and get him thinking about it. And then we can use quotation. Using quote can lend credibility to your speech, as we can use a famous person quotes such as Mahatma Gandhi and some else. And then we can use humor as a joke as your engage to your audience, and you can put him in a positive mindset. And last one is a shocking statistic, and this is the element of surprise. For example, like last day 500 people die because of blah 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 blah, something like that.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad HAZIQ IZUDDIN bin AZZHAR. In this slide, I will tell you about the definition of informative speech. Uninformative speech is aims to educate the audience on a specific topic and make the difficult topic become easy to understand or give different point of view. The main goal of informative speech is to provide enlightenment regarding a specific topic the audience knows nothing about. Next, we go to the types of informative speech. There are 4 types of informative speech, which are: the first one is definition speech, the second one is demonstrative speech, and the third one is explanatory speech, and the last one is descriptive speech. A definition speech explains the meaning of a specific topic that audience knows nothing about. The main goal is to make sure the audience understand about it. The second type of informative speech is demonstrative speech. A demonstrative speech explains how to do something. For example, how to do a proper squat or the right squat. So the speaker will show to the audience, for example, first step you need to stand straight, second step you need to bend your knee 90 degrees. So that is example for demonstrative speech. For the third types of informative speech is explanatory speech. Explanatory speech might give a description of the state of a given topic. For example, if the speaker speaks about the diabetes, the topic is diabetes, so the speaker will provide a statistic or data that makes speech become more clear and easy to audience to understand about it. And the last type of informative speech is descriptive speech. Descriptive speech create a vivid picture in person minds regarding on object, pupil, animal, and place. And now we go to the next slide, which is purpose of presenting informative speech using data and chart. The first purpose is to increase audience in understanding, which we know that if we speak without any data or chart, it will make them difficult to understand it. So with the data and chart, it will make audience become more easy to understand what we delivered. And the next is increase audience retention level. As we know, when we speak in a long time, the audience become boring, so it will not focus to us. So with using the data and chat, it will make the audience focus on what we speak. And the last one is make interest in audience. So with the using data and chat, the audience will interest to what we want to talk. So that is the purpose of using chat and data in informative speech.
Basically, do you know how to write an informative speech? So this is the way. First, we need to choose a precise topic, which is way more generalized topic and more specific. And second is draft an effective thesis statement, which is this thesis statement will summarize the entire of your speech. And third is consider your crowd. So when you talk to men, you talk about car. So choose the right topic, and then start your outline and which clear and well mannered. And lastly, you can end with a call to action, which is you can ask your audience to read more about your topic. Okay, then we move to the informative speech outline, which is the first one is introduction. You need to grab the readers or audience attention, and you need to present your thesis statement, which is very important. Also establish your credibility and preview what is to come. Also transition to the body, and then we move to the body and the outline of your main point with the sub point, and you need to have supporting facts and include the transition between the main points. Also the last is the conclusion, which is the signal the end is coming, and you need to restate your thesis and with strongly but quickly. You need to wrapping it up and driving your point home. That's all from me. Thank you.
Now I'm going to explain about the organization patterns. Basically, there are 4 basic patterns of organization that can help you to create a logically organized of your speech. The first one is a chronological order. The second one is a spatial orders. The next one is the causal order, and the last one is the psychological. Now we are going to learn each one of these patterns. So we start first with the chronological order. Basically, chronological is a speech pattern that places the main idea in the time, either past or present. Second, the spatial order. The spatial order is a speech pattern that can be used when your main point are oriented to the different locations. The next one is a causal order. The causal order is a speech that used to explain cause and effect relationship. All you will have is a two main point, which is cause and effect. And the last one is a psychological. Basically, the psychological is a speech that had designed to follow a logical argument and persuasive speeches very easily. So we move to the next. Let's identify the common vocabulary used in writing and informative speech. Basically, there are lots of vocabs, words that commonly be used during writing and informative speech. As you can see at the picture on the slide, there are several words that are available and can be used for us during writing and informative speech. For example, you can see the words like approach, assess, create, evaluate, and more. You can use these words during writing and informative speech and make sure you use the right words on the right sentence or paragraph. In addition, there are also a language that used to describe chart and graph in informative speech. So, let's try to identify about it. First of all, there are several graph and chart that we need to know, such as like tables, pie chart, bar chart, lines graph, and more. Then, during explain the details about the graph or chart, use the right phrase, because this will help you to describe, will help you how to describe, and then you will learn, you will understand, and for sure you can explain. After you understand, you can explain the analysis that they stated. For example, like the bar chart shows, as you can see the picture on the right slide, this is the example of a bar chart, and there are data and the statistics about a number of men and women that study engineering at Australia University. That's the example of the bar chart. The next one, we go to the tenses. In fact, mostly people in Malaysia, especially students, sometimes are confusing when it comes to the right use of the tenses. So, you need to learn that when it comes a chart that contains a fact in the present, so you use the simple present. Why? When it comes a chart that contains a fact that in past, stated in past, so use the simple past. Lastly, we go to the terms. Generally, we can use the synonym words or bombastic words to make our speech look good. For example, here we can use the synonym of going up, like we can change it to rose, increase, went up, grew, or rise. The other, like going down, we can use the synonym words like decline, decrease, fell, drop, and so on. As long as the words is still have a same meaning, you can use it. Last but not least, we are going to learn about the transitional words. What is it actually? Basically, transitional words is a connection between sentences, paragraph, section, and by using this word, for sure it will help us to build a better sentence. Now, we will look to the function of this word. First is as the result and thus. These words are some of examples of result transitions, and the function of this transition is to link a sentence to the outcome of it. For the example, for the sentence, can you help me, Farah? As the result, I will treat you a dinner this night. So we are looking to the second, which is furthermore and also. These words are the sum of examples of addition transition, and the function of this transition is to add the important information to the topic that you will discuss. For the example of sentence, we cannot attend to the event today as it raining right now. Furthermore, we don't have any transport to go there. So there is the example for the sentence of addition transition. Thank you.